All right, guys, we're back. Thank you so much for joining us. I see that we have people from Canada, Scotland, Denver, where else? Indiana, Pennsylvania. So really fun to see that you're here from all over the globe. I'm so excited and ready to dive into the newly released and much anticipated features that will be introduced for this month. To those of you who join us every month, welcome back. And to those of you who are joining the first time, welcome. These monthly webinars are a great way of keeping on top of our new releases every month, so I hope you enjoy. All right. So hi, I'm Ella Maisel, a customer experience advocate here at monday.com. Joining me today are Sarah and Rami, who will be supporting today's webinar and answering your questions in real time. Please make sure to turn on closed captioning if necessary, and at any point, if you cannot hear me or see my screen, please let us know in the chat box so we can address it promptly. If you need to step away during the webinar, no worries at all. The session will be recorded for everyone to review on their own time. The session recording will be available next week on the monday.com Academy and on our YouTube channel, and you will also receive a recording in your email, so no worries. For everyone who joined the webinar last month, you had the option to check our amazing Monday Mansion. I hope you had a great experience, and from the people asking about it, I'm glad to see that everyone was wanting to know what about it. So as of next month, all new features webinars will be in the Monday Mansion. Rather than hopping onto Zoom to tune into Monday's new features, you'll have the opportunity to experience a whole new way of watching our monthly webinars in the Monday Mansion as demos. For those of you who haven't yet experienced it, the Monday Mansion is Monday's answer to changing how companies around the world host and engage with their audiences. Check it out next month. Today's session will comprise of two parts. First, we'll take a look at our new features in action, and then we'll transition into a live Q&A session. Throughout the demo, please be sure to add your questions in a dedicated Q&A box at the bottom of the screen instead of the general Zoom chat. Please note that we won't be actively monitoring the chat section for questions. So I see up until now, a lot of you have been using the chat. So please make sure that all your questions will be in the Q&A box next to it. It's really important. Our amazing Sarah and Rami will do their best to get to as many questions as they can. That said, there are a lot of us in attendance today, which is actually really exciting. So if we don't get to your specific question, feel free to check out our user community at community.monday.com. It's possible someone else has already asked your question there, or navigate to our help center to find the answers to your questions. Additionally, you can check it out in all our previous month's webinars on the Monday Academy, or reach out to the Monday Customer Experience team, which are always happy to help. Before we dive in, let's walk through our agenda for today. All right, so in today's webinar, I'll be highlighting the changes made to automations. So we have a new 10-day summary, Workforms, a new question setting component and the ability to duplicate questions, dashboards. So we have a new multi-board support for multiple columns on y-axis in the charts. Workdocs, we have improved performance, new Kanban cards with compact fields, the new portfolio solution for portfolio management, and apps marketplace. Let's get started and head over to the platform to see things in action. So let's go to our board. Alrighty, so our amazing autopilot team has added an automations run history 10 days summary. This gives you a quick glimpse at the activity of each of your automations in the past 10 days. Let's see where to find it and how it works. One moment, please. As I said, our amazing autopilot team has added an automations run history 10 days summary. This gives you a quick glimpse at the activity of each of your automations in the last 10 days. Let's see where to find it and how it works. So this is just a regular Monday board. If you go over here to the Automate Center, currently I only have 2 automations. And if I click on the automation itself, I have the run history, the info, and I have a new tab called Analytics. So here it is. Where we can see a summary of runs from the last 10 days, including how many runs are successful, failed, or in progress, and how many actions were used by the automation. You might also notice our new design, which makes things a bit smoother. So we've changed a bit of the coloring and the font and the size. This can be super useful for keeping on top of which automations are producing the most runs, especially in our plans, which have a limit of actions. Moving on to Workforms. So to those of you who don't know, this is our Workform. This is a game changer for you, to those of you who are using it. And to those of you who are not yet familiar with the Workforms, it allows users to create the use custom forms to collect, track, and analyze data, while automatically syncing with monday.com boards and workflows. When someone submits a response to a form, the data instantly flows into the board, centralizing all the information in one place. So you can always add a form. I'll show you where. If you go over here to the plus sign and choose form. And the form will be generated with questions according to the columns you already have on your board. The new question setting component presents a centralized and organized hub for all relevant question settings, making customization a breeze, and has been released to all of our users. This component has replaced the 3-dot menu in the bottom right corner of the question component, bringing a much-needed sense of order to question customization. So let's see how it works. If I go here to the form and press the Edit Form blue button over here, great. So now I can see how to edit the form itself. If I choose any of the questions, I can see this new button over here called Question Settings. It will give you different choices depending on the column type. So let's just see a few examples of the question settings that will be accessible through the new component. If I go to a single select or multi-select and choose this question settings, I now have the option to choose how I would like to see the actual answer. So I can choose a list, a dropdown, or whatever. In the date question, we now have the option for respondents to specify the time along with the date. So I can also add today as a default date if this is relevant to anyone, and also have people to include a time when adding a date. And in phone questions, we now have the option to predefine country code and set a default country code for international phone questions. So if I go over here and press the question settings, I can use a predefined country prefix or autofill country prefix. So in this case, I've added this. And now if I copy the form link, I can now see the options that I've put in. I can see that in the date, I need to add a date and a time. And in the phone, it's already automatically in here. Of course, I can change it if I want. But this can really come in handy when all responders are from the same country and won't need to waste time adding the country code every time. So it totally makes the process much more efficient. These are just the tip of the iceberg. The question settings component opens up a world of possibilities for further customization of questions and tailoring workforms to your specific needs. All right, let's go back to our board. Great. So if we're already talking about Workform new features, let's continue to our next one. Until now, form builders needed to create questions one at a time manually, which could waste time, especially when creating long forms such as surveys or questionnaires. The new feature allows form creators to duplicate questions easily while creating a form from within the form editor itself. This has also been fully released to all users and can save a lot of time when creating similar questions in long forms. So if I go back to editing, the editing mode, and I choose any of the questions, I now have this new logo of duplicating the question. So if I push it, I can now see that the status column has been duplicated over here. And of course, if I go to the main board, it automatically adds another status column automatically. So this is really cool and can save a lot of time. I'm just getting a sip of water, 1 second. Okay, thank you so much for waiting. So next we're going to move to our Workdocs. So this isn't actually a new feature. It's more of an improved performance. For those of you who may not be familiar with our docs, it's an exceptional tool for centralizing and organizing all your team's knowledge and documentation in one accessible place. Docs facilitate seamless collaboration, enabling teams to effortlessly create, edit, and share documents, procedures, and critical information. So if you ever want to add a doc, so you go over here to the blue plus sign and add a doc. Of course, you can have a main, private, and shareable, depending on the plan you're on. And this is how it will look like. In the doc itself, you can tag people from within the account if you want. And you have all these different things you can add. Full screen, you can save it as a template, add widgets, and etc. So I want to talk to you about the significant performance enhancement for docs, especially for larger documents, as we have heard your feedback and really work to improve the performance. Now you can create longer documents and incorporate numerous widgets while enjoying uninterrupted performance. Let's see these improvements in action with real-time demonstrations. We'll showcase the enhanced capabilities using documents containing up to 2,000 blocks, both before and after the recent updates. So let me go back to my presentation. Okay. So before the optimization, I want you to focus on what's happening on the doc itself and totally ignore what's happening over here. But as you can see, this person is trying to write something on the doc itself, and it's not really working as we would expect it to. It's a bit slow. And after the optimization, as you can see, it's working smoothly, and clearly you can see how much the performance has been enhanced, and this will totally change the experience when working on large docs. All right, so we've gone through a few features. Let me know if you're still with me, and you can write an emoji or anything just to let me know you're still here. Great vibes, you guys. Thank you so much. I'm glad to see that you're all still here. Thank you so much for updating me. You're the best, you guys. All right, so let's move on to our next feature. So we have the new Kanban. We have an amazing Kanban view. While it serves the same fundamental purpose, the new Kanban view comes with several enhancements. Now you can view more fields directly on the card, customize cards, and drag and drop functionality, and seamless switch between item and sub-item settings. Important note is that the new Kanban view is currently rolling out gradually. So if you don't see it in your account yet, don't worry, it's coming soon. If you're wondering how to check if you have the new Kanban view, you should look out for this pop-up message as shown over here. And as you can see, you do have the option to remind me later. In that case, the pop-up message will come back a week later. If you accidentally press remind me later, but don't want to wait a week, you can simply navigate to the Kanban settings menu and select show the new Kanban as shown here. So if you would tick this, it will be updated in your account. So let's explore this new view in action and add a Kanban view to our board. So over here, this is the board. I'm gonna go to the plus sign again and add the Kanban view. Great. Now I'm going to navigate to the settings over here at the top right. And here you will find the new Customize Your Kanban Card section, allowing you to drag and drop columns of interest directly onto the Kanban view. So let's say I would want to see the priority, but I don't want to see the date. So I can just play around with everything here and drag and drop according to what I want. Moreover, you can adjust how columns are displayed. So let's say I would want to know what the column name is. I can tick over here, and it's now showing me in each one of these what the name of the column actually is. These changes significantly enhance your Kanban experience, enabling clearer data visualization and improved workflow management. So I just want to show you, for example, the old Kanban view. If we hop over here, you're only able to see 2 items over here, as opposed to the new one where you can see at least 4 items. But if you prefer, you can still currently use the old Kanban view. If you just go to the settings and tick off over here, it will go to the old one. Over here. All right, great. But I really do recommend to embrace the enhanced Kanban view and discover how it can elevate your project management. One moment. All right, so next we're going to dive into our dashboards. I'm going to go over here. To those of you who are not familiar with dashboards, you can always add the dashboard from over here, new dashboards, and connect multiple boards to it depending on the plan you're on. With our multi-board support feature with multiple columns on the y-axis, I know that you were briefly introduced to those of you who attended last month's webinar, but today we'll explore it in greater depth and showcase its practical applications. So imagine this. You've created a dashboard and connected multiple boards to it, as of here. Now, with the latest update, you can select multiple columns from each board, providing unparalleled flexibility in visualizing data across different workflows. It's important to note that this feature is exclusive to the new dashboard engine. To access it, simply navigate over here to the 3 dots. And to me, I have now go back to old dashboard engine. But to you, those of you who are not yet on the new engine, you will see over here, upgrade to new dashboard engine. So this is really important as it only works in the new engine. All right, let's see it in action. Suppose you manage projects for different quarters using separate boards. So let's say here I have this board that is Q1 and this board for Q2. Each board includes columns like the people column, status, date, and budget figures, so both planned and actual budget. To gain a comprehensive overview of yearly budget planning versus expenditure, you can now customize your chart by selecting multiple columns from these connected boards and effortlessly compare annual budget plans against actual spending clearly and systematically. So I'm going to just demonstrate how to do it from scratch. I added a widget from over here, a chart widget, and then I'm going to go over here to the three dots and settings. I'm going to choose the bar type. In the x-axis, I want to see the difference between the boards because each board is a different quarter. And now I'm able to choose multiple board columns over here, which is really, really great and fun. Something is not working. Okay, well, I will check why it isn't working, but luckily I made one in advance over here. So this is what it's actually supposed to look like when it works. As you can see over here, I have quarter one. In quarter one, I had planned budget over here and the actual budget. So it's really great to see that I actually spent less than I wanted to spend. But then in quarter two, my planned budget was 5,700, but I actually spent 6,600. And so it really helps me get an overview of the year instead of just seeing quarter one or quarter two. I can now get a yearly view and understand what this means. So this capability not only enhances your visibility, but also empowers you to make informed decisions swiftly. Imagine the insights and efficiency gained from this streamlined approach to data visualization. So amazing, so beautiful. And moving on to our next feature. We've totally saved the best for last with our exciting new portfolio solution, a comprehensive end-to-end tool for portfolio management. It's designed for anyone needing a high-level view of multiple projects simultaneously. This feature is truly a game changer. It's important to note this advanced capability is currently available exclusively in our enterprise tier and will gradually roll out to all enterprise accounts in the coming weeks. If you don't see it in your account yet, don't worry, you will see it soon. So let's dive into what makes this new solution so powerful and highlight its key components and benefits. Let's begin by adding a new portfolio. So if we go over here to the blue button, we can add a new portfolio. We can give it a name, let's say new portfolio 1 or portfolio. All right. To effectively manage your portfolio, you'll want to start by adding projects. So first, I want to show you how to add already existing projects. So if I go over here to add projects, I can see I already have 3 existing projects. So if I just press them, I can see that an item is created over here in the high-level board. And it's automatically being connected to the project board itself. So let's add all the projects. Amazing. So as we switch back to the project board itself, which is each one of these boards, notice that all items over here were automatically connected and linked to the high-level item in the portfolio. It's really essential to use project boards rather than regular boards, as the functionality differs significantly, ensuring seamless integration and management within the portfolio environment. So if you go over here to the blue plus sign, you'll see new project and not new board. So it is really important to use these as all the connections are made smoothly. But now let's explore the project board itself to understand how it works. So as you can see, we have status, priority, timeline, dependency, duration. We have budget. So all of these, it's like columns that are very standard and that are showing us information that is usually relevant to projects. But you can always add additional column based on your specific needs. Just pressing here the plus sign, more columns, and whatever information you want to see, you can always adjust it to your needs. We also have the ability to add a new project from within the portfolio itself. So if we go back to the portfolio that we added and add project, so I have the option to create a new project. Let's say I would call it now project 4 and use the standard template. Just a moment here. All right, amazing. So now I can see that a new item is being created over here. And automatically a new item was being created, project board was being created over here. And that it automatically connected to this item in the portfolio. And every task or item I will be adding over here. For example, I just added another task. Then it will automatically be connected to the item in the high-level portfolio board. Okay. Now I want to just show you some features that are really special and are only in the portfolio. So if I go over here to one of these overviews, sorry, before the overview, I forgot to show you that we have two built-in mirror columns over here. So one of them is the project process, which aggregates progress across all connected items within the project board, offering a comprehensive overview of task status. So you can see I have different statuses from each one of my project boards, and this is just showing me like the sum of it over here. And another column is the actual timeline, which automatically generates a timeline based on the first start date and last end date of all tasks within the project board itself. So you can see over here, it's showing me the actual timeline. In the portfolio high-level board, you can manually add a plan timeline to each project item within the portfolio. So let's say I would want to add a timeline, a plan timeline. Let's do one that has passed. So I've added a few timelines, plan timelines over here. This feature plays a crucial role in assessing project health, and you can see it over here in the new project health column. So, for instance, you can flag projects that are on track, off track, or at risks based on their planned timeline versus the actual timeline mirrored column. Any changes made here will reflect in real time across the entire portfolio. So let me do a few, let's say over here, the planned timeline has passed. So I'm going to do off track, at risk, on track. So if I go back to each one of these boards, I will be able to see over here the project health, as you can see over here. Let's say a project falls behind schedule and then is back on track. You can update its health from within the project board itself and even add notes. So let me show you how this can be done. Let's say now I want to change it back to on track and add a note. Project is back on track. So this, of course, will automatically be updated in the portfolio itself. And I can show you where we will see the note in 1 second. So as I wanted to show you before, if we go over here to the overview, you can drill down into specific projects, view progress, review status changes. So here are the status changes. I can see that I changed the status and I wrote a note. So any changes made here will all be reflected here. I have this project progress that is showing me the progress of the actual project itself. So currently I have no done items or tasks, so it's 0%, and a built-in Gantt. You can also customize the layout by adding additional widgets. So just so you know, you can see here like regular views, updates, files, project info, and you can also add additional things such as an item card, quote and invoices, and add also additional apps over here. Another unique feature for our portfolio solution is the snapshot view. One thing I also want to show you here is from within the overview itself, you have this button to go to the project itself, and it takes you automatically to the project board itself. Going back to the portfolio, so this is another unique feature, the snapshot over here, offering a quick overview of the health of all your projects all together. You can easily switch between focus areas. So, well, right now all of them are here, but let's say I would want to see done tasks. So it's showing me the done tasks in each one of the projects, plan versus actual, and project manager. So all of these, I can see this. So this is really ideal for managing multiple projects efficiently, especially when you have a lot of projects. So you can see like the number of projects and the health of each project. So hopefully all your projects would be here on track, but it's also nice to see like how many projects are off track and how many are at risk and everything. All right. You may also want to implement an automatic way of creating your project board from templates. A good way to achieve this would be for a team member to fill out a request for approval for a certain project, usually including the urgency, timeline, and estimated budget. Then once the manager reviews the request and approves it, the request will be created as a new project on the portfolio board. From there, it will trigger an automation to create a new project board, and the tasks in the project board will automatically be connected to the project item in the portfolio board. So I've done this. I want to show you how it can work. I've added over here a regular board. And I've added data request, urgency, timeline, and estimated budget. And I've added here an automation. So if we go over here to the automation center, of when status changes to done, create an item in my portfolio. So the portfolio manager would have all of these requests coming in. Of course, they can be done via a form. So you can add a form over here and people will fill in the form. It will go into the board itself. And if he wants to approve a project and changes it to done, he will trigger the automation. But before that, I want to show you in the portfolio itself, you need to add an automation, which is actually an integration. So if you go over here to the integrate, and scroll down, you'll be able to see here this thing, create project from template. So for the sake of the example, I've added this one. When an item is created and only if column is empty, create a project from template. But you can see that there are additional recipes that actually work exactly the same. But you do have the option to add an additional condition. Like if you only if status is something and only if person is someone. And this will actually be helpful if you want to use a certain template for certain like specific cases. So let's say you would want a specific project template for each one of the managers. So you would choose this if person is assigned, and then you would choose a different project for each person, or if status is something. So you could use a different template for different, I don't know, project, like big project, a small project, and so on. So the one I've added over here is this one when an item is created and only if project tasks link, so this is the connect board link, is empty, create a project from template. So let's see how it actually works. Let's say I want to approve this item too. I will change it to done. If I go to the portfolio itself, I can now see that an item was created over here. And a new project board was created over here. And of course, automatically connected to the item in the portfolio. So this is a really great way to approve new projects. All right. Well, this webinar underscores our commitment to enhancing monday.com work management capabilities, specifically empowering project managers to handle extensive portfolios effortlessly. If you're interested in exploring these advanced features further or require more detailed information, please reach out to us for additional resources. And before we complete the demo portion, let's head open to the apps marketplace to review an app. So if we go to any regular board and go over here to the Monday marketplace, you can find apps, all different apps that were generated by third-party apps, and some of them also by Monday. So today I want to show you a brand new Slack integration. So let's search over here for integrate plus for Slack. All right, here it is. Moment. So this is the app page. You are able to see here a lot of information about the app, security and compliance, permissions. You can see that there's a free plan available, and you can request the admin to add the actual app itself. I just want to tell you a bit about the app itself. So it is designed for Slack and monday.com users to boost productivity through reduced platform switching. So you have the ability to edit your monday.com items directly from Slack and improve team visibility and productivity with targeted team and personal notifications. So it actually allows you to improve productivity by reducing endless platform switching instead of like switching to Monday, switching to Slack. It helps you in that. Gets your updates right where your work happens. Get personalized notifications for what's important to you. Turn daily conversations into new items or updates, and set up automations using the app custom triggers and automation. So I do want to show you a short demo that shows how powerful this app is.
Finally have both in one place. It turns your Slack into a personalized notification center by pushing updates from specific boards to selected channels. This way, you can keep multiple people in your organization in the loop at once. But Slack Integrate Plus for monday.com also works the other way around. You can easily create, update, or move your monday.com items without ever leaving Slack. Either interact with the notifications themselves, or simply turn your daily Slack conversations into new items or status updates. Stay in the loop and say goodbye to endless platform switching with Slack Integrate Plus for monday.com.
Amazing. So to those of you who are actually using Monday and Slack, this could be a great app for you and super impressive. With that, we have completed the demo portion for today. and we will be moving into the Q&A shortly. If you haven't already, please be sure to add your questions to the Q&A box before we begin. I am going to step away for a drink of water and stretch my legs, so take the time to do the same, and we'll meet you in 2 minutes. Okay, guys, we're back again. Super exciting. We have a lot of questions, so we don't have a lot of time. I'll try answer as many questions as I can. So firstly, about the new portfolio, I can see that you're really excited about this, and actually I really understand the excitement. It's really cool how everything works and automatically connects, and totally understandable. So a few people asked if a project board can be connected to multiple high-level portfolios. So this is actually a really good question. And currently, a project board can only be linked to one portfolio at a time. But if you do connect, I want to show you how it works. So let's say I would go to this portfolio. If I do connect over here, a project that's already connected to a different portfolio, so all of these three are already connected to here. But if I do connect it over here, I do have the option, but as you can see, it's moving it. So it moved it from this portfolio to this portfolio. So good question. Currently, as I said, it can be only on one portfolio, but if you do happen to add the project to another portfolio, it does move automatically. Will the portfolio be available to other products and plan types? So the portfolio is only available on the work management, and the plan is for this to remain a unique feature specific to work management, and it is a solution available on enterprise only. So as I said before, but it is important to understand that also now. Regarding the portfolio limitations, I know a lot of people have asked, so again, really good question. Firstly, you should know that you can create an unlimited number of individual portfolios, but you are currently able to connect up to 200 project boards per portfolio. So, of course, you can add another portfolio if you have more than 200 boards, but just so you know that this is a limitation currently. Can you change the colors assigned in the snapshot view? So, as I showed you before, the snapshot view is actually taking its colors from the project health, and this is not a customizable. You cannot customize the status column currently. Of course, this might be changed in the future, but we did use colors that I think are suitable for each one of the project health. So off track, at risk, and on track green. But currently you aren't able to change it. So if you go to the snapshot, it's according to those three colors over there. Okay. Regarding the Kanban, I see a few people have asked which types of columns are supported in the Kanban. So the new Kanban view supports currently status, numbers, date, person, text, long text, formula, pulse ID, connect boards, drop down, and link. And I know that some people have asked about the timeline columns, so I do want to say that it's currently not supported, but we are totally working on it, and it is soon to be rolled out and added to the new view as a supported column. So it's going to happen soon. I know this is something that a lot of people need. Someone wrote here, we use both Monday Dev and Work Management. Why does the Kanban look different on each product? So again, this is actually a really good question also. The Monday Dev Kanban is really unique to the Monday Dev product and cannot be added to the other products. So Monday Dev will have the Dev Kanban, and CRM Service and Work Management will have the regular Kanban, as I showed you today. I see a question about the dashboard chart. So people have asked, can you have more than two columns in the y-axis? So yes, you can have. I just showed you an example of two, but you can add additional columns to it. So again, good question. It's really important to understand that you must select the all at once in the settings. So let me show you again. So if you go to one by one, you will only be able to choose one column. But if you go over here to the all at once, you can see here multiple columns. Right now, I only have two number columns on each one of my boards, but if I would have more, I could totally take off additional columns as well. What chart type supports the multiple y-axis? So the y-axis is on the bar chart, the line chart, and the regular area chart. So over here, the line and the area. So these are currently the supported ones, and I think they're actually the most suitable for this kind of information. Let's see what else we have over here. Okay, so I see someone asked about what would be a good use of Kanban cards? What benefits does it bring? So Kanban is really a useful project management technique that aims to manage work by prioritizing tasks and balancing demands according to the available capacity. So it really depends on the team and what you do, of course, but it helps teams see their plan points at a glance and ensure that they are best utilizing their resources. Additionally, Kanban can be used for various purposes, such as daily task management, tracking releases, and managing sales pipelines. For example, if you are a development team, then you might use this view for daily meetings to discuss and prioritize tasks, while someone else that, let's say, is a product manager may use it to track the status of releases and understand, I don't know, which sprint a task is connected to. So it really depends what you do. But I do know a lot of people use it a lot. Over here, I can see it according to the statuses and the items in each status. See? Okay, well, I guess our time is actually up. I just wanted to say thank you so much for everyone for joining me today. It really has been so much fun, and it's actually today or tonight. It actually really depends where you are in the globe. I want to thank again my amazing colleagues, Sarah and Rami, for your amazing help. Thank you so much for assisting me. And just a reminder to you all that you will receive a recording of today's webinar and will be available in our Monday Academy as well. We will see you next month in the Monday Mansion. So exciting. Have a good one. Bye, guys.